What's up everybody and welcome to my very first impression video. I just want to start out by saying thank you so much for being here. What this video is going to be is just me talking about like the first 4 hours that I've played of Ghost of Tsushima yet. And I took some notes so that we can go through those together, and I have some questions from Instagram that we're going to get into as well. Before we get started, just a couple of channel updates. First, I'm going to be finishing The Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 4 today, and probably episode 5 as well, so I might finish the entire season today, so you can check that out on my channel. Also, I just launched a Patreon over at patreon.com/the_pancakes with 2 S's. What that does is the money just goes back to help supporting the channel, like getting equipment, giveaways, games, etc. And it's also a way for me to interact with you guys and you guys to interact with each other. I'm always willing to take suggestions, but I hope the benefits that I've made so far are meaningful to you. But yeah, let me know what you think about it if you do check it out. I was so excited for this game to come out. This is a game that I was looking forward to for a while now. Unfortunately, I won't be playing it on my channel because I don't have a capture card just yet, but whenever I do get a capture card, this is a game I'm going to play on my channel. I'm probably going to stop. I might complete my playthrough and play it again, or I might stop and save it for you guys so you guys can see it. Let me know down below what you think. Do you think it would be worth a second playthrough on the channel, or doing a first playthrough on the channel and I can stop? I'm about 4 hours in right now, so... And I've done mostly like side questing, things like that. We'll get into that in just a second. So the way I want to structure this video is just to be like relaxed, not like a serious review video or anything, because I just want to talk to you guys about my thoughts and my first impressions of Ghost of Tsushima. So what I did was, like I said, I have this little notebook right here, and I just took notes as I played and as I watched my wife play. I did both. I did watching and playing. That way I can get a full representation of what the game is like for you guys and to give my opinions of it. Because people submitted questions on Instagram, I want to do some of those questions first. So thank you for those that submitted. Alright, let's talk about some of my first impressions. Obviously, you guys know this game is absolutely beautiful. It is actually the most beautiful game I have ever seen. Not only did they capture the setting really well, like, it's just beautiful. The graphics are crisp and clean. The colors are like everyone's favorite colors. They're like your favorite shades of reds, blues, greens. I mean, even the black is just like crisp and just so nice. Like, I'm obsessed with the colors in this game. The photo mode is what they promised. It's very in-depth and detailed. You can do all kinds of things in the photo mode. I haven't explored much of it yet just because I've been trying to do a lot of gameplay instead, but I could spend hours in that photo mode. They nailed it, and it's easily accessible. You just push right on the D-pad to enter it instead of having to go through like stop the game, go through settings and stuff like that to get to a photo mode. They made it really easy, so it's clearly an integrated part of the game. The first thing I noticed right off the bat was that the cinematics were engaging. I found them easy to watch, like I was watching a movie. I did find them dramatic, but I loved it. They are a little bit over the top, but I loved it. And so I found that it was really cool to play a game where I trust the researchers and the people who put the time into developing this game and showing what the Mongol invasion was like. The beginning of the game is kind of hard to watch. There are some cutscenes that, you know, they kind of hit you in the feels, but it is still like kind of dramatic and over the top, but I loved every second of it. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the game so far. And the cinematics, again, they're just like the rest of the game. They're absolutely beautiful. Like, you really feel like you're just sitting at home watching a movie that you get to play. It's incredible. I am obsessed with it, and I really hope that video games continue to take this direction. Not so much of realism, although some of it does imply some realism, but as like just they have to hit a level of graphics that are so incredible that it's like a whole new level. Like, you feel like you're watching a movie. I don't know how else to express it, except for you're like playing a AAA movie in a movie theater, but you're playing it. It's so cool. I love it. I did play this game on easy mode so far, just because I wanted to enjoy the story and relax a little bit while I played. And I played with the Japanese voice acting and English subtitles. I would recommend that. I didn't try anything else. But for me, if you want to get the full experience of this game, like, use the Japanese voiceover and English subtitles. It makes more sense. It's better for immersion. It adds to like the drama and just the overall feeling of the game. And for me, if I had heard like a weird English voiceover with Jen, I think I would be uncomfortable, and that would be weird. It makes it wrap around better and be more cohesive and immersive. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I think they nailed it. All right, so let me address the questions that were given to me on Instagram. One of the first questions I got was, can you talk about side questing? Absolutely. I've done a lot of side questing in the game, and I think that it is a good way to get introduced to Jen's gameplay, like the mechanics, the stealth, the mission structure, and some of the off characters. I don't want to call them main characters because they're not like Jen, but they're like side characters that are being impacted by this Mongol invasion. They have families and stories, and they'll take you all over the map and to get you introduced and acquainted to all your different objectives and things that you're going to do in the game. So I would definitely recommend doing side quests. I didn't find them boring. I didn't find them cliche, like go collect 10 feathers and come back so that we can make this medicine and save this person. It wasn't like that. If they felt meaningful and they weren't too long, and I do think that if you want to get more story out of this game, you need to do the side quest. Like I said, the overarching story so far from what I've played in my first impressions is it's going to be a pretty mediocre story. Like, it's going to be there, you're going to feel things. It's not going to be like The Last of Us or something like a story-based game, but it is there, and you'll get more out of it by doing side quests. So yeah, do the side quest. You also get rewards, and this game is upfront about what reward you're going to get by doing a side quest. I find that extremely beneficial, because if you're like, this is the side quest, this is the reward, and it's not worth it to me, you don't have to do it. The game doesn't force you to do it in any way. The upgrading system is really nice. It's pretty in-depth, at least from my perspective, but it is an RPG game, so you are getting those RPG mechanics. I think they are done well. The next question I got was, can you talk about stealth mechanics? Yeah, sure. So this game, it is what you make it. If that's not clear enough, let me explain. If you want to do everything stealth, you can. It's kind of similar to Assassin's Creed in that aspect, the newer ones, where you have the little arrow on your screen and you can tell when you're getting closer to enemies, and when they're starting to notice you, it'll fill up, and then you can back away so that they no longer notice you. You hide in bushes and trees, you can hide under buildings, you can submerge yourself in water. There are definitely many ways to approach a situation via stealth. I didn't find myself doing a lot of stealth combat, mostly because I was just trying to learn the controls and do sword fighting and stuff like that, because the sword fighting is very in-depth. But yeah, you can play the game stealth, like in stealth, but I don't think it's as stealthy as people expected it to be. Like, stealth is not, from what I played so far, is not a major part of the game. Like, you're not forced to do stealth at all. So if you're wanting this to be a more like forced stealth game, it's not. But can you do stealth and do everything stealthy like a ninja? Absolutely. Yeah, you can. Speaking of which, this game really does kind of make you feel like a ninja. There's a lot of parkour, and the parkour is done really well. Like, you jump on rocks, jump on tree branches to get across things. You're just constantly climbing and scaling the mountains and the maps, and the parkour in this game is just done really well. There are many ways to approach situations, especially using parkour, climbing buildings, like I said. I think they nailed the parkour moves in this game. Another question was, is it like Assassin's Creed? That's a difficult question to answer. It's not an Assassin's Creed game, obviously. Does it have aspects of Assassin's Creed? The newer ones, yes, because it is an RPG game. So they do have those similar RPG mechanics, but I didn't feel like I was playing an Assassin's Creed game. It's also not Souls-like. I've heard people say, like, is this game like Dark Souls? No, the difficulty is nowhere near like Dark Souls. In fact, some people are saying the game is a little bit too easy. I play every game on easy mode because I'm not very good at games. I'm getting better, I'm learning them and things like that. But right now I play every game on easy mode for the most part. My wife is a Souls player and she's really good at them. And she has said this game is a little bit too easy. So if you're into Souls and you're looking for a Souls experience, I would bump the difficulty all the way up. But even then, this game wasn't designed for that, and you're not going to get that out of it. So to go back to the Assassin's Creed question, you don't really feel like an assassin. You feel more like someone with honor, and you're trying to maintain that about your character as you've been taught how to fight in battle, and your homeland has been invaded by Mongols. You're not really like an assassin. Does that make sense? Like, you are killing people and there's swordplay and stealth gameplay and stuff like that, but you don't feel like an assassin. At least I didn't. So I hope that answers that question. Now I'm just gonna go through my journal, and we're gonna talk about some of my first impressions that I wrote down in it. So I said the menu system is really clean. I like the way everything is organized. I think it's really well set up. It's easy to tell what's where. You're not getting confused and lost in the menu system, and I think it's aesthetically pleasing. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The soundtrack and the music is just, I wish I had a vinyl of it. I don't know if that was part of the collector's edition. I didn't get the collector's edition of this game, but if a vinyl comes out of it, I will totally get it. It's epic, and I just love the soundtrack to this game. It's so good. There's a lot of detail in the world, even down to like Jen's armor, as you can see in the picture that I have here. There's just, they made a big attention to detail, especially in the landscape. Like, they really wanted the atmosphere of this game to like make you feel like you're in your favorite place in fall. I mean, the water is like see-through blue. The leaves are like our favorite colors of red and yellow, and it's just, you can just sit down with a Starbucks coffee in the winds with your hair blowing. But except for the Mongols are invading. Yeah, so that part's not cool. But it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, what everyone says about that is undeniable. If you don't think this game is beautiful, I would really question you. But hey, you're entitled to your opinion. This game paid attention to making sure females are a part of it. Jen has a couple of side characters and partners. I don't mean romantic partners, I mean like partners in crime that are female, and they can stand their own ground, and I really appreciate that. Jen is not trying to save them. They are fighting alongside together. So if you're looking for a strong female character, obviously we're playing as Jen, and that's great. He's a wonderful male character, but there are strong females in the game as well. I've said this time and time again, but the game constantly reminds you that you're on an epic journey. From the music to the missions to the conversations and the dialogue, it's just all like epic. Some of it's dramatic and over the top, but again, I love that. Like, I just love that aspect of the game. I was like, heck yeah. So I would really recommend, if you don't already, to really pay attention to the dialogue. Again, that's where you're going to get a lot of the story, obviously, but they did a really good job coming up with conversations, and they're not repetitive. They give you more information and make you feel things, and I just really enjoyed the dialogue in this game. They did a really good job with the tutorial. They take you on this like little story journey as they show you the controls, and I just think the tutorial was really well laid out, and they show you how to do everything. The controls are going to be difficult for some. Again, if you're a Souls player, you're going to struggle a little bit here. The controls are very different. It's not the same kind of gameplay at all. It's going to feel like it because you're parrying and striking and blocking and stuff like that. You're going to want to do your Dark Souls-y thing, but you can't do that here. You're gonna have to think about every attack as you do it. You also, if you're like me and you're still learning to play games like this, you cannot button mash either. The game forces you to pay attention to your enemy, line yourself up, plan your attack, and you have to do it all quick. So you've got to memorize those controls. I never found that the game was too hard on easy mode, but I did find button mashing is not going to work. So if you're on one of those two scales, you're gonna have to adjust a little bit. The mount in this game is a horse, and you get to pick your horse, you get to name it, you get 3 options, so you get to pick from one of those 3 options, and the horse riding is so good. The sounds, the way the horse moves, the way it gallops, you feel connected to your horse, and it's easy to control. And in battle, if you get shot or your horse gets shot, your horse will run away, so you don't have to worry about your horse dying. But if you accidentally misclick, you will cut your horse, so don't do that. It won't be mad at you forever, but it just doesn't feel good. Don't do that. But the mount and the horse riding in this game is really good. And I know that's something people are a little bit concerned about, but I think they pulled it off, in my opinion. They introduced this really interesting mechanic when an enemy is down but not dead, that you can choose to end suffering. I think that goes back into Japanese culture and what this game is about. So I thought that was a really nice addition to, it sucks that we have to kill them, but at least you can think of it in terms of ending their suffering. I appreciated that aspect. The healing system is really interesting here. It's not unique to other games, but I did really like it. As you fight, you gain resolve, which fills up a meter, and you can use that meter to heal yourself. And you can heal yourself at any point as long as you have that meter, at least something in that meter. So you can be jumping in midair and push the heal button and heal. So that was really helpful. There is a crafting system and kind of like a currency system that you use to buy things from merchants and things like that. There is a town feel, like a community aspect. You will go to different people and talk to them and get different things from them to help you on your journey, kind of like other RPGs in that aspect. You're going to get a lot of storytelling in this game, again, as long as you do side quests and pay attention to the main quest. Really, this game is about exploration. They really want you to explore the world. And you're going to find shrines, meditation spots, places you can reflect on different things and get memories of Jen's life. A lot of the storytelling is in flashbacks and shows, what made Jen into the character that he is today as we are playing as him. The whole story is like a storybook. Like I was saying, the whole thing feels like you're on this epic journey and you've just turned the page on chapter 1 and here we go as Jen, our main character, and the whole time you're just like rooting for him and again feel like you're in this epic storybook journey, even down to like the mission structure. It's called like the tale of blah blah blah, or that kind of thing. Like that's in the menu system, and the way the quests are outlined in acts and things like that really just make you feel like you're in a cohesive, epic storybook journey on the most beautiful place on Earth. But the Mongols are invading, and yeah, that sucks because people die, and that part's not easy. You can upgrade your armor and stuff, and his outfit will change, and that's one of my favorite things about video games is like outfit customization. I know I'm a weird nerd, but there are benefits to it. Except for his bandana, there's probably a more accurate term for that. You do get different ones of those. They don't have skills associated with them, but his actual armor does, and it will aesthetically change, and I loved that. I thought it was so cute when he changed his outfit. I'm such a nerd. But if you're into like customization and changing characters and stuff like that and upgrading armor and systems, then you'll love that part of it. Again, it's another aspect of an RPG, but it's the way that Ghost of Tsushima takes on that. You're not like picking up armor pieces to my knowledge yet. Could be wrong about that, but you're mostly just upgrading it and picking up like full armor suits, like not like a glove here and a hat there or something like that. This game is all about a collective society, so everybody that you interact with in the world, they really feel like it's more of a collective experience instead of an individualized experience for Jen. He wants to help these people and feels like they are family, and so you really get like a collective sense of gameplay and community, and I love that in games. It's one of my favorite things. So you feel like you're actually helping the people around you, and I really appreciate that. Another big thing that people wanted to know is about the waypoint system. I was really nervous about this and thought that I wouldn't like it. However, I think they nailed it. The wind guiding you, it is accurate and on point, but you kind of forget it's there sometimes as you're following it, and it's really nice. It's just immersive. It helps you feel like you're in that environment. It's not distracting. It doesn't pull you out of the world like some weird yellow line, like follow this yellow line in the middle of this most beautiful forest that you've ever seen. No, but you follow the wind. You also follow birds and foxes, and that's really neat. It's just really cute and heartwarming almost, as all this bad stuff is going on around you. So I was nervous about that aspect. I felt like I was going to get lost and not be able to tell where the wind was leading me, but they make it very obvious. So you don't need to worry about that if you're like me. There are some elements of platforming in this game, like platforming puzzles, but it doesn't overtake the game and you can figure them out with enough time. So I also thought that was an interesting aspect added to this game. That's going to conclude it for my first impressions video. Let me know down in the comments what were your first impressions. No spoilers, please, because not everyone has played this game just yet. And again, this will be a game I play on my channel eventually whenever I'm able to get a capture card, so you can stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to know what you thought about it, what were your first impressions, and if you have any additional questions for me, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.